Hello, comrades. Welcome to episode 108 of the perennial late. I can't even talk. Postmodern Polymaths podcast. With me this week, of course, is the meme master, Lyman Smith. How you doing, Lyman?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Mr. Watson's doing fine.
How's your beard?
Beard's fine.
The
A bird.
loaf?
Yeah. Yeah. No birds today, I guess.
How's the loaf?
The loaf is actually not loafing. The other cat's harassing her, so they're actually playing for once.
What's the other cat's name?
Seriously,
Circe. And what's Loaf's name?
Callie.
All right, so Circe's the knock her over thingier.
Yeah, that's the knock her over thing here. She's the youngin', so you know how that goes.
How old?
Like, she two? Nearly two now?
Oh, that's pretty young. How's the other one?
7.
So the loaf wants the chillins to chill out sometimes.
I don't know, yeah, but she's getting more frisky lately, so. Oh, maybe she needs the exercise anyway. I guess. So,
Lose
anyway.
the nickname Loaf, becomes Slice.
Yeah, slice. Slice of pound cake.
I wish I had that right now. Pound cake sounds delicious.
Yeah, it was good. So this week we don't have anything going on. Everything's all quiet on the Western Front. You know, nothing major going on or anything.
No, my biggest problem is traffic.
Oh wait, didn't something with Iran happen?
I think they had a celebration, shot off some bottle rockets. Is that right?
Yeah. For no good reason. Okay, there we go. I don't know what happened there, but so yeah, we bombed Soleimani's second biggest dude in Iran, I guess.
The most dangerous person in the world until the next most dangerous person in the world.
Yeah. So we killed him, I guess. Apparently, he was head of something, which is a combo of the CIA and like special forces, is what I keep hearing.
I believe he was like their second general in command of the military.
Something like that. And we took him out. I never even heard of the motherfucker until they talked about it.
I'm surprised because you listened to The Intercept and followed Jeremy Scahill. They've talked about him probably a dozen times, I think, over the span of time, because at least in Jeremy's writing, that dude's been questioned because we question anybody with authority and brown skin over there. So the Bush administration was like, nah, we're not going to get that guy. The Obama administration was like, nah, not worth it. It's going to start too much shit. So what happens?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, of course he does. So yeah, now I remember now about them two passing on him, and Trump, of course, in his infinite orange wisdom, decides to go ahead and pull the trigger.
Hey, fun fact that you might know, but you might not. He was actually an ally of ours in the fight against ISIS in the previous years of war.
Yeah, that's not unusual.
That's how you know they're going to get killed, because if we train them, arm them, ally with them, and they're in the Middle East, within 10 years or 10 to 15 years, they're the people that are now the enemy.
That's like red shirts on Star Trek, the original series. You always know they're going to get killed if they have red shirts on. Anybody who watches the original series. If you don't, well, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. Anyway.
You're a bad person.
Yeah, they took him out, and then in retaliation, Iran shot some rockets at a couple of our air bases.
In Baghdad.
Yeah.
And one other place. The one was near Baghdad or in Baghdad.
One was in Baghdad, I think, and the other one was in the desert. I can't remember the name of that.
But it's worth mentioning that before that happened, Iraq took a vote in whatever their version of Congress and the Senate is over there.
Parliament, yeah.
Is it Parliament?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what they said is we need to get the fuck out. So we clearly packed our bags and took off, right?
Well, they did a letter that surfaced, popped up, saying we were going to do exactly that. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, no, wait, that was an accident. That was poorly worded.
What was?
This letter that somehow, it was a communicator, a letter saying, telling them we're going to get out and they're
Oh,
planning
in
for
the U.S.?
Yeah, we.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you
I
didn't
missed
know
that. No, I
Yeah.
missed that.
Oh, well.
Mm.
They leaked out. I don't. Somebody released a letter saying we're getting out and how long it's going to take and all the logistics.
Oh,
and
like
then,
basically saying like, hey, I know we're breaking up,
yeah.
but I have a lot of shit here, so I got to pack it.
Yeah. Well, that was an accident. Apparently, they didn't mean to do that, so they retracted the letter now. So I don't know how incompetent. That's the only thing saving the planet right now is his incompetence, I think.
That's kind of true. And the few adults in the room that are willing to suffer these fucking assholes.
So right now, Trump is like, hey, everything is cool now. All is quiet, all is fine. Nothing, no problem, except the part where we fucking did an assassination of a foreign leader. Don't worry about that part.
Did you see in the last, what is it, like, what time is it now? 8. So in the last like handful, give or take hours, a couple rockets landed somewhere near our embassy in Baghdad.
I thought that was early. I thought that was yesterday, but
I
maybe
saw
so.
it reported like in the last I saw it come across my email alert from ABC News Phoenix, like 5 hours ago.
That may be just individual Iran backers just doing shit.
But rockets, like
Rockets are because these are ballistic missiles that Iran fired. If they're just like what do they call them, Qassam rockets or whatever, Katyusha, I forget what they're called. The rockets are easy to fire from anywhere, so that could just be.
They don't know who did it, and my skeptical of America brain wouldn't put it past us to shoot them near our own stuff and be like, oh. But
no, he's not that fucking clever. He's not that clever.
But the people around him are at least
all the good ones have quit.
But no, that is true. But there was an article that that God account, the cartoon God, not the other God, put out on, it might have been on Daily. He writes for Daily Dot now, or I forget which. Anyway, there was a journalist whose name I don't remember because I had a hard time pronouncing it. They had a little check mark, so at least they're verified because that means everything now. They put out little excerpts of conversations. Apparently, according to them, they've had a lot of conversations with a lot of the people around the Trump administration that are in and involved in the White House in some form. They didn't mention who, but they had, with permission, put out excerpts of the conversations that they had with these people. Did you see that?
I don't think so. It's supposed to be recent because I hadn't seen it.
It came out today. Like today is the day for news, apparently. But I guess if I had to summarize it, is everyone's like, I know it looks super bad from the outside, but I promise you it's like 100 times worse on the inside. And then there's little anecdotes about his advisors, Trump's advisors, trying to goad him into taking out Soleimani, and the reasoning behind it, like, kind of how they baited him into it, and it clearly worked. I'll send that link to you during this podcast, and and you can take a look at it. We can post it on our thing.
So yeah, and of course you mentioned that, and of course the latest I saw was Trump's like, yeah, we should cooperate against ISIS together. That'd be cool. After we killed one of your main dudes,
That
now he's like,
cooperated with ISIS
yeah, he's wanting to
fighting.
cooperate against with Iran to fight ISIS after he killed one of their main dudes.
He can eat a dick.
What the fuck are you? That's not how this works.
Yo, bro, I just had a little too much to drink. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean to push the button and blow up your friend and leader, but it's cool.
I don't know, man. It's just
They're
so
not going to
much-
do it. They're not going to do it. I honestly, did you see the interview that God, what is her name? Her last name is Kaditz. She did an interview with their prime minister last night or sometime in the early evening, afternoon, their time, and it was a good interview because I think it was like 18 minutes long or something like that. And she asked him, like, are you going to escalate this? And he's like, well, I don't want to, but it all depends on what the United States does and what their actions are. And she's like, well, what would you say to Donald Trump? And he's like, stop. You have your people to look after. I have my people to look after. Essentially, don't start, none won't be none. But then he was like, but if it comes down to it, we're going to throw down.
Well, of course they're going to. I mean, what else are they going to say? They have to.
But that's more measured. Like, if you look at the narrative that the Americans are given, it's, oh, these people over there, they're all like savages and all this stuff. This dude's basically like, man, I don't want to fight, but if you're going to start blowing up our people.
Yeah, they know they're going to lose. That's why they can't be two. I mean, when it comes right down to it, we could bomb them into oblivion if we really wanted to. So, I mean,
we could, but there would be a lot. It would be bad for both.
Well, I know.
Like, real bad.
I'm just saying that's why he's being so measured. Because he knows it just happened. And he's I would be too. You got fucking crazy man fucking Trump. God knows what he's going to do.
I mean, the truth be told, both sides would lose if we actually went full on war, because they're not some shitty country that's like, oh, like we just got the Scud missile. Woo! Like, they have a Navy, they have an Air Force, they have capabilities that aren't as expansive as ours, but they can throw down, especially because we have bases out there. Like, it's not like we have our, what we have here in the United States, like on the mainland. Like, it would be bad. Plus, because of all the tariff fuckery, like, they've made friends with China and Russia. Like, if it went really south, they want to protect their oil too.
Look, man, look. It's a fucking mess.
It's a giant fucking mess.
I want you to look at the stock prices of the defense contractors on the stock market. You think maybe they went up a little bit? Yeah. This is all about them making that money, that cash money off fucking weapons. And they're fucking pushing this shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what war is to us. I mean, our largest export, hands down by exponentially larger margins, is military contracts. We sell weapons to all kinds of people. That's why we keep developing them. It's not because we necessarily need them. It's because we sell them, or we sell our older technology and we replace it with the new. Like, I forget what the numbers are. I'd have to look it up. But if you look at how much money the U.S. does, and forget the war part, just selling arms to the rest of the world, including places we fight, it's pretty shocking, actually.
Not really.
I mean, I didn't seem too enthused about that.
Yeah,
It's basically the dealer giving you the drugs and then giving you free drugs and being like, yo, you owe me money. It's like, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's like, we're going to set you up with this. We're going to like arm you. We're going to be your BFF. You're our convenient friend to fight some other group. But thanks. No thanks. We're done with you eventually. And we just beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care about any of this. They don't. Israel's over there. They want Iran gone anyway.
Nah.
Fucking Saudi Arabia hates Iran because of the split, the Sunni Shiite split. That whole thing. Russia's over there, but Russia ain't shit compared to. I'm sorry, they ain't got shit compared to.
Compared to Iran, even.
Well, compared to Israel and the U.S. combined, there's no way they're fucking. There's
No,
no way they're gonna do. They don't have any. They don't have shit. So I mean,
but I feel China's got some shit. And I mean, truth be told, if it came down to a mano a mano, like traditional warfare type situation, they would fuck us up.
It'll just be.
They would.
It'll just be Cold War 2.0.
Oh, yeah. What I think will happen is there's going to be a bunch of people shooting rockets back and forth occasionally and talking shit. There's going to be a couple casualties on our side. They're going to be like, oh, God, they're killing our people. It's like, well, why don't you pull them out? And they're going to be like, but freedom, democracy. It's like, well, they told you to leave. Get the fuck out then. That's democratic. They voted. Get the fuck out. And it's just going to escalate, and this is going to be version 2.0 of the same shit we've had for the last 17 years.
Well, so yeah, it's just this defense contractors making money. The same old bullshit, you know. I mean, there's nothing really different.
Once you go through your stash, you got to find more stash. I mean, we demolished Iraq as an infrastructure and as a functional country. I have friends that are from Iraq, and they're like, yeah, we didn't like Saddam either, but if you weren't like on his shit list, like most people aren't, you at least knew you had food and water and power and existence. But now things are fucked up. We did what we could do with them, so now we need somebody new, because we, again, 22 years of peacetime in our existence as a nation. 22.
Yeah. Well, the neocons love this shit. The warhawks just fucking love this kind of shit. But Pelosi has introduced a war powers bill. I don't know if it's actually going to go through, but there are some people. They just had a briefing in Senate briefing that the administration gave. And there were some Republicans that are pissed off after that fucking briefing or whatever.
Oh, I don't follow. You mean the briefing that the House had?
The White Hat? No, the Senate.
People are pissed off that Trump did what he did.
No, well, the administration officials gave a press conference or a briefing to the Senate, and they didn't like it. They came out of the meeting being all pissed off about it. The Republicans did.
What's their problem with it?
They said it was the worst. What was his name? Lee, I think I can't remember his first name. Said it was Mike Lee. I want to say he said it was the worst briefing he'd ever been in. They're basically like, you just like it, just take it. You're going to take it. You're going to like it.
Sweet.
So I don't know. Who knows now? I don't know if they're gonna if they will come up with a War Powers Act resolution, so he can't just keep bombing Iran and shit.
I mean, so the War Powers resolution. I saw somebody, and I'm like gaslighting myself over this because I was busy and I couldn't look it up to like reconfirm and settle myself. But they were saying because it's instead of a House bill, because it's a resolution, it's not binding.
Is that true?
Like, we should like real time Google this, because
I thought. Well, see, they didn't think it was going to pass the Senate anyway. That was a thing.
And I think a House bill, we call them a House bill, but I think House documents are resolutions, and then they have to go to the Senate anyway.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But they has to pass both the House and the Senate. So yeah. The House will pass, but of course they thought the Senate probably was a no-go. But there are people on the Republican side who are pissed off after that. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It's going to at least be closer than they thought it was going to be initially. Whether it actually passes or not, it's a whole. It's still. I would say that's a long shot still, but it definitely puts pressure on the White House and Trump's dumbass to like not do stupid shit. Maybe a little bit.
I see. I hope you're right. I don't have a lot of faith in that, because I think that only works so far. And then let's say like you and me were like standing in front of each other, and like I'm going to play the role of Trump because I'm not going to do that to you. Let's say I slapped you and then you slapped me back. Like at that point, and you say a couple words. Like at that point, his ego does not allow it to let it go. Like his pride and ego and everything else.
Well,
I don't see it. When does he ever let anything go? He's still butter emails, but he blamed Obama for the rockets that Iran shot.
yeah, I know.
Like,
Well, if he got enough pressure put on him, because he did say that, they're going to bomb the cultural, he threatened to bomb those cultural sites or whatever, which of course is blatantly illegal under, international law.
oh yeah.
But he finally backed down from that, saying he wasn't going to do that.
But I don't think that was because of our local domestic people. I think he got some phone calls from people overseas, and they were like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Well, who knows? I don't know who talks to him, who he listens to. I don't know.
I know that our allies aren't happy with it. Like people that are traditionally our allies through thick and thin. They're all like,
or somebody in the defense establishment told him you can't do that. So I don't know. I can't. Okay.
but also to be fair, when regardless of administration, when does America actually recognize war crimes when we're the ones doing it?
Well, never. Is that the? Is that correct?
That you win. You win.
Yay!
Yay! You're the big winner. No, when other people do them, they're like, "Oh, this is a travesty. It's a war crime." And then people are like, "Yo, you shouldn't use like white phosphorus and depleted uranium and stuff." And they're like, "What? I was high at the time. I'm sorry. No. Who are you? Who are you? Prank caller.
Prank call. Prank call.
That's what we do."
Yeah. So anyway, right now it looks like things are calmer. We'll see if it stands or not. But for now, Trump's been sated. We'll see if his ego forces him to do some other dumb shit.
I got my Sharpie ready. I just got like a Michael's down the road, and I'm like 40 minutes from DC. If it kicks off, I will be down there with the rest of the people protesting. Fuck all this.
They'll
Honestly,
probably do it in Nashville too. Actually,
you should come up here and we'll go do it at the White House.
shh, that'd be
Yeah.
crazy. That'd be crazy.
I'll drive.
Okay. So that's what the latest on that is. Of course, you'll be keeping track of us to make sure you get your latest updates and not CNN, AP, Reuters, or whatever.
I do want to say one thing. If you are interested in this situation, which you should be, go on Twitter and follow at Jeremy Scahill. Scahill is SCAHI. Can't remember if it's 2 L's or 1. Doesn't matter.
Ow! Fucking little shit.
Doesn't matter because it will complete itself.
Not you.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Fucking cat.
But yeah, if you go on there, I mean, he writes for The Intercept. He has a fantastic podcast that you should also be listening to. It's almost as good as ours.
That's saying
Intercepted. And then there's a spin-off one, which has Mehdi Hassan hosting, called Deconstructed, which is every Wednesday. I'm sorry, every Thursday, and the Intercepted is every Wednesday.
Well, Intercepted is on the season's over or whatever. So
I think it comes back in what?
I don't know
a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's like a couple weeks.
Yeah, so go check that out, obviously. But of course, I try to keep, like no news or like regular news sources like AP, Reuters, and stuff like that. And then for my analysis, I try to stick with more left-wing sources, I guess you could say.
I saw a Newsweek article talking about the interview that I watched live streamed last night with the journalist interviewing their prime minister, and the headline that Newsweek came up with, spoiler, they're garbage, was like, Iran says they're done with their attacks. And I'm like, that's what you got out of that? Specifically said it depends on what we do.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Newsweek's hit or miss. I don't know.
They've become pretty bad in the recent year and a half.
I wouldn't say they're dependable, but I mean sometimes it's just
check your other sources.
Yeah, always have more than shit. Have a couple, at least 3, 4, 5. I don't know. The more the better, and as long as it's not, fucking the Blaze or fucking.
If you go to the Blaze, you know what? I'll be fair. I saw one article from them that I was like, yeah, they're right. That's people can believe that.
Well, broken clocks and such.
Right. But if you go to the Blaze, Breitbart, or yeah, all of Fox, even though they've been right a couple times, just
WorldNet Daily and all that bullshit.
Yeah, what Daily Mail is suspect too.
Daily Caller.
Oh, Daily Caller. Sorry, Daily Mail.
No, Daily Mail is tabloid too, but I mean, you may have been both of them. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just write all 5 of those off because there's so many other. I mean, at least go to BBC. I mean, jeez.
BBC is a good source, I think.
Al Jazeera is pretty good too.
There is a chart. I don't know if I posted a couple times. I think it's a media bias chart. That's actually pretty accurate, and it kind of gives like the examples of different, if they're left wing, right wing, straight news, or completely opinion or whatever.
I'd want to know who made the chart.
That's fair, and I have to double check my sources on the source of that. But I haven't, and I've done some spot checks. Of course, I'm not just going to let some shit slide. But I mean, when I can see, it's pretty accurate. So I mean, obviously, check the source on your own. I have it somewhere. I have to look. Well, you can go fucking Google it. It's fucking out there.
And you know what? Even the best intentioned media sources, writers, stuff like that, like they sometimes get stuff wrong, or they'll write something and then an editor or 2 or 3 different people go through it and it's not quite 100%. Like, always check multiple sources, but don't just settle on the one that makes you feel warm and fuzzy.
Like I heard, Lyman was actually a decent person, and I should have just kept going.
You should.
Yeah.
You should have got. I mean, you should have checked to see how many Facebook friends we had in common, and asked me what zip code, what kind of car do I drive, and it's important stuff.
Fucking Mr. Robot with an internet connection. It's garbage.
Listen, I don't have a hoodie on. I have a robe.
I don't know how that fucking works.
I have a robe.
You got something. Actually, we should talk about. We were going to talk about that. Was a good segue.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah. We're talking about other stuff besides fucking depressing shit.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff. The world is heavy right now, and there's some cool stuff to distract yourself and decompress with. So we're going to give you some of that. Chris, have you finished Mr. Robot?
Yes, I have, because I'm the motherfucker I told you it was over.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know when you start watching. I started watching it in 2015. I watched that, and I watched the second season.
I think I started when it came out. If I'm not
so
mistaken.
we're on par. And then I stopped watching.
Same, yeah.
Because life got weird.
Well, sometimes they spread out to the point where you forget, and you're just like, I have to start all over again, which I may have to do anyway.
Well, and it's a pretty cerebral show, to a certain degree, but it's also, it's not a happy-go-lucky show. It's not.
Oh no, sir! If you're going in there for that, then
it's not super crazy depressing, to the point of, I don't know, what's the most depressing show you've ever watched?
The most depressing show I've ever watched?
Yeah, series or something.
Fuck, I don't.
Like what?
Don't put me on the spot like that, man.
Okay, well, well, The Walking Dead is pretty fucking depressing.
No, that's just stupid.
I only saw it for 3 seasons, and I was like, it is stupid. It probably got stupid, and I thought it started to get stupid, but it's like...
Okay, no, to be fair, the first 2 but I mean, after a while, I'm like, oh, they're dead and they're walking. How long can you keep that going? I mean, the novelty wears off after, the first 2 seasons. Come on.
Breaking Bad was a little bit dark, for sure.
Yeah, if you're talking about dark, depressing is a different thing, maybe. But anyway, so I can't even... Anyway, yeah, fuck that. So... Mr. Robot, is definitely cerebral, definitely kind of dark, kind of gets down in the underground of nasty death and destruction in the corners of the dark web and shit.
But that is true, but it's not so intense that it's off-putting. It's not like watching American History X and watching it in people's like teeth like bashed in on a curb or something. It's more subtle, and I
It
think overall.
depends. Well, yes and no. I mean, once you start getting to like the third season, it starts getting pretty. I don't want to issue any spoilers, but it gets pretty fucking hardcore. With the well, I'm not really
I'm
gonna
also
say.
trying to encourage people because I know a lot of people that watched like the first couple 3 episodes of the first season, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna." No disrespect. I'm gonna use some of the quotes that I jotted down. It's like, "Oh, I'm not really into the whole like autistic hacker just
Oh
fucking
no,
with people."
whoever that was, fuck you. And I don't care who you fuck all your language, friend.
I'll tag you. No,
I'm
I told
sorry.
him, I was like, it is not your standard like, oh, I'm a hacker, I'm just gonna fuck with people. I was like, and the funny thing is the level of like, if there was like a prophetic scale that you could put to a show to rate, like, there's like books or movies and things that happen that get put out and then it's a little close to home. I mean, it is 100% in the now, based in reality. I can tell you that the technical stuff is spot on. It's not like the old 90s hackers movie where it's like, oh, I'm going to go through the file system and it's like moving
Yeah,
fucking Mario blocks or some shit.
yeah, yeah,
It's,
yeah, yeah.
all the technical stuff is sound. If you ever followed an anonymous video or thread or thought hacktivism was a positive thing, or you liked WikiLeaks at some point, or any of that modern day, like real life hacktivism stuff, you will love this series.
Well, you at least have to be interested in that kind of scene because I know there are Luddites out there who don't give a fuck about computers and can barely turn. This
That
might
is
not
true.
be. It may or may. I'm not saying you have to be, all well like a hacker like me. Because I'm experienced. No, I'm really not.
You
But
you
I'm
don't
just
you don't have to be a computer nerd to appreciate it at
yeah.
all.
But you can still It's still a dark kind of thriller. It's like sort of like a spy thriller, except it's like deeper than that. It's like there's layers to it. It's like
There's so many layers. If I had to like flop movies on top of itself to like throw it in a Cuisinart and make this movie, I would say it's shit. I just stumped myself.
see, you stumped yourself. See, that's what you get for not fucking playing the shit
It's
right.
like God, what's his first name? Pollock, the guy that wrote Fight Club, Choke.
Oh, I know who. I don't know what his name is.
Somebody's gonna watch
Yeah,
this and be like, he doesn't know who that is. No. Um, your camera is
yeah, I
blacked out.
know. Fucking
Okay,
cat,
that's
fucking
cool. Um,
bitch.
it's like if you took Fight Club, put it to somebody in the age group, like the generation of like 32 to 38. So there's all the social media, tech savviness, all that stuff happening with the literal turn on your TV, dissentful attitudes towards. I mean, did you catch the thing where you saw they did a thankfully faux shot in Mar-a-Lago?
I don't think so.
There's a part where I don't want to spoil it, so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna use potentially racist descriptors. There's the guy. There's the guy from China, and the old white dude in a bar. It's a fancy bar, clearly a fancy bar, and the opening shot is a napkin, and across it says Mar-a-Lago, and there's like little cameos 3 times in the third and fourth season where you see the back, somebody who's clearly Trump, who's the back of his body and his head.
Huh? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and they talk about, it's basically if you like Eat the Rich, if you think oligarchy is bad,
Oh, the eat the rich stuff, definitely.
you will fucking love this.
Yeah,
Like
it's definitely like an anarchist kind of hacktivist, like you said, thing going on, vibe going on.
it's so good. And honestly, from start to finish, I didn't feel like it got bad because a lot of shows after they go a couple seasons, it's like Dexter's a good example where it's like wah wah, like the ending is just like what the fuck is this?
I'm gonna have to rewatch it, honestly.
I felt like they stuck the landing real well.
We're not talking about a Sopranos ending, for fuck's sake. That was one of the worst endings.
I think Dexter takes the cake for me. And Breaking Bad, those two endings. Like Dexter, did you see the end of Dexter?
I never even watched it.
Okay, so I'm gonna first say you should watch it because it's a fantastic fucking show. It's very original.
I know the premise. I just never watched it.
I'm not gonna say it. All I know is that the last like 3 or 4 episodes of the whole thing are disappointing as fuck.
Well, that's not unusual.
But you should watch it 100%.
All right, so there's go watch Mr. Robot. But
I'm gonna plug it for free.
Okay.
On if you're an Amazon Prime member, seasons 1, 2, and 3 are free. If you want to watch 4 before that, or
It's on
you're
USA.
yeah, it's a USA thing. Or if you're one of the suckers that still pays for cable, feel free to watch it on USA or on USA's website. Because if you're a subscriber, you can log in and there's like USA to go, or I don't know if they're serving you movies on the fly when you want, or
of course, if you want to be just like the show, you could just go get a VPN and fucking torrent the motherfucker. Like
that's right. You know what? Do Mr. Robot proud. I'm not going to give you the means, but I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to tell you where to go. Private internet access VPN, and then go to go find you a fucking torrent link site or whatever.
Go to movies 1, 2, 3.
No, I'm not telling you where.
I'm joking. I'm joking. All
up.
I know is if you search on your Googler or your DuckDuckGo, which is private, if you're doing sensitive stuff, DuckDuckGo. Don't Google.
Oh yeah, and get a torrent program like a Qubit torrent.
And I'm going to tell you, if you want a VPN that doesn't keep logs, ignores subpoenas, and says fuck you to everybody, get PIA, which is private internet access. It's $33 a year.
Yeah.
5 devices can be on it. You can put your router on it, so everything behind it in your home is on it. You can put it on your cell phone, everything. Don't go commit crimes. Just be safe, because our government.
Yeah, I'm not saying just in case. You just never know. Maybe you're afraid somebody's gonna steal your shit. I'm not saying you can have to do anything.
I'm pretty sure I made some government lists the last couple days, man. I've said some stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah. You and Dan Arrow both. Speaking of which, did you ever get that book?
No.
Okay, he's coming
on. Dan Arrow. If you see this, please send me the book.
I may just send you my copy anyway, because might just get him on anyway. Maybe I'll just fucking photocopy it.
You know what? Maybe I'll just buy it because
it's gonna take us long shit. I mean,
but he sent you a free copy, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, then maybe I'll pay for it and then split between the two. It's like half price.
We'll figure it. That's fine.
Whatever. I'm not talking shit about Dan Arrow, but this whole technical stuff is something that we can definitely jump into.
But we're going to have to schedule you for about a month and a half, because I've already got interviews planned out for that long, because that's how important we are now. You fucked up before when you talked shit about me.
If I had a book, I could have got you on sooner.
Yeah, but you fucked up, Dan. Get your shit together. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so another show I wanted to talk about briefly was, now that I'm thinking about it, is the Man in the High Castle, which I just found out is...
I have so many questions.
It came out with a new season, and the last season. This recently, I didn't even know it. Usually I keep track. Somehow I missed it.
How far into it are you?
first. I think I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes.
I
don't know.
watched one in between 1 to 2, maybe 1.5
Wait, are you talking about the season or?
episodes. You said
Oh
episode.
no. Sorry. Wait, in the season?
In
See,
the
that's.
first season, I
Oh no
watched
no no no
one
no
and then either the full second one or one half of the second one.
no. I've watched both seasons already. That's why
Uh,
I didn't know if they were ever going to come out with another season or not.
so sell it to me. I know the premise, but some people may not. If you were gonna sell it to me, how would you rate it?
I'll sell it to you. There's old fashions. No, I don't
Done.
know. Yeah.
Done.
I don't know if you're a Philip K. Dick fan, and who isn't really? He wrote this. It's based on that book, The Man in the High Castle, and the basic premise is that the Axis won World War II. Um, the eastern half is the Greater Nazi Reich. The western part is the Japanese Pacific states, and there's like the neutral zone in between, which is like Colorado and that little area in between. That it's all the neutral. It's all crazy down there. They're doing crazy things. So, but I mean, somehow Germany came up with the bomb first, and bombed DC, nuked DC or whatever, and so we surrendered and whatever. So the U.S. is split
It's all
between
set in the proper
post.
time period, right?
Yeah.
Or is it after World War
Oh
II?
no. It's after World War II. The show is like starts in the early '60s, I think. So it just kind of goes from there. Uh,
Is it dark? Like real dark? Like I'll just say this, like Handmaiden's Tale. I get it.
It's not that dark.
Like
I'm over it. Is that
want it.
still on?
I don't know. Like I didn't get through the first season, and I honestly hadn't watched it till like I don't know, the end of last year or the beginning of this year or early this year. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay, we're in 2020. So early 2019, I think we sat down and tried to watch it. She had already seen the first season, and this is rare for me, but it's too fucking dark. Like in this timeline, I can't. Maybe I'll go back and watch it when.
No, it's just torture porn at this point. Because like at least you saw an ending. If you read the book,
I watched three
just
episodes
3 episodes.
of Handmaid's Tale. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I got through the first 2 seasons, and now it's just I haven't. I think I watched the first like 2 episodes. I'm just like over it. It's like we get it. It's just there's no resolution to it. I mean, it's just the same shit over. I don't know.
We tried to binge it one day when I was doing a bunch of cooking.
I don't thinking cocaine. What'd you say?
Cooking.
Oh, cooking. No, you would not want that show on cocaine.
That is projection, sir.
Would I be this fat if it was on coke? No.
No, but your cats might be. It's a good site.
No, actually, there's cocaine cats, but no, sir.
Cats on cocaine.
That's unethical. But anyway,
I'm not.
so the premise is they're
Yes.
trying. There's a rebel movement, and they're trying to overthrow it. So I mean, that's the background. There's always rebels trying to fuck shit up, obviously. So,
How's the writing and the cast
I found the writing to be pretty good. The casting's good.
compared to Mr. Robot for me? Because I love that show. Is
I don't know. That's apples and oranges to me, though.
but I mean the quality.
I don't think it's as good as. Well, I don't think much is better than that. I mean, but it's pretty good. The plot's a little thin, maybe. It's not quite as deep as I'd like it to be.
5 stars. How many?
A 4. I mean,
Okay.
it's at least 4. It's not going to get 5. 5 is Mr. Robot to me. 4. This is a pretty solid 4. It's inconsistent sometimes, but overall it's pretty good. So I'd recommend it if you're like I like speculative fiction, like Handmaid's Tale and like this, what if kind of shit, So I would definitely recommend it. And while I'm also, and I'm sorry, it just came to mind, The Expanse is now on Amazon Prime.
What is that?
The Expanse. Okay, so The Expanse is a sci-fi series, right? Now you say, Chris, oh, it's just a sci-fi series. Okay, well, fuck you, because it used to be on Sci-Fi Channel, and there was 3 seasons on there, and they couldn't afford to produce it anymore, so they moved it to Amazon Prime, and I just found out about it because I'd been waiting it, but I hadn't known it was coming, and it came, and I watched the entire thing in one load. I blew my load too quick. I didn't mean to do that.
Yikes.
Premature ejaculation. I'm sorry, but it's so good. If you like sci-fi and you like good act, I mean, this is good acting, good like. If you ever saw Battlestar Galactica,
The
to
older,
me, not the original, not the old one, but the one that was on sci-fi, years ago.
I saw a couple of those.
If you're into sci-fi, I definitely go. I recommend you go see that. Good acting, good solid special effects, good plot. It's based on a book series by some dude that I can't remember his fucking name off the top of my head because I'm a bad person. But you go look for The Expanse on Amazon Prime, and you can find all that stuff by yourself. All right.
Thanks. Okay.
If you're into sci-fi, if you're not, you probably don't give a fuck. So anyway, Lyman, on the topic of being lighthearted, although I don't know how lighthearted this might be if it were me, because I feel like I'd have a stroke. You just sent me a link.
I did.
Now let me go ahead and hold. Oh,
I just want to say one thing, and don't worry that there's nothing inappropriate in that. I mean, there certainly isn't worse language than what we use, if any, even close to what we use. But what I recommend, what I do, because this is the darkest timeline to date. That's objective because it's always every day is another part of the timeline, and it keeps getting fucking darker. I like to go and watch stupid shit, and some of the stupid shit that I like to watch, and I know some of this you'll appreciate, is I go and watch like cat fail videos. I don't know if you've ever done that on YouTube.
cat videos?
Cat fail videos, like a cat, like, oh, I'm gonna
No,
do this, like
no.
nobody gets hurt.
I've seen them pop up, but no, cat bloopers or whatever.
Yeah. That's a better word. Um, I've spent a lot of time like mindlessly listening to things about like UFOs and like just something that is not now, like I drive for at least an hour a day each direction, and one of my favorite lighthearted podcast is Last Podcast on the Left. You should check it out. If you haven't listened to that, Chris, you should, because they do a lot of like cults, serial killers, paranormal type stuff, but it's 3 dudes and they're all really fucking funny. Like,
I've heard of this before.
I've almost gotten a couple car accidents because I was laughing too hard. Like, that's it's good.
I need to calm down a little bit on that.
I know. Well, that's the story of my life. Anyway, this during one of my rabbit holes of YouTube, can't sleep, laying next to Natalie, and just going down, like Googling and YouTubing random shit. This I came across, and apparently this guy does have a channel, and this is what he does. There's lots of different things, and I'm gonna let it speak for itself.
But here's the problem: share screen doesn't have audio, so
No.
yeah, you're gonna. If this is, I'm gonna have to describe it while it's happening.
Hold on. You know what? I can maybe let me see if I can put my if I can rewrite my audio.
If you somehow, I don't know how that would work.
It doesn't have audio.
No, I tried. Remember when we did the one for the
Well, it's muted for one in the window I see.
No, that's not the Don. What was that dude's name? Cherry. I'll try to play that audio back. It doesn't have audio in it. You can share the screen, but for some reason it doesn't have audio.
If you hit play, you want to test it just for a second?
I mean, we can.
We're gonna beta test this for the people watching.
Oh fuck! I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this. If you hear it, then you don't. If you do, whatever. Can you hear it?
It's super quiet. I think it might. Yo, do this.
That's
Pause it. Take out your earbuds and put your microphone to your speakers.
I guess I could do that. All right, hold on a second.
And I will shut up during the entire thing.
You're gonna have to.
Even if I'm laughing, I will shut the fuck up because otherwise, and I'll mute
All
so
right.
we feedback.
All right.
I'm muted.
Here we go. Oh wait, that's not gonna work. Damn it. Hold on. I'm fucking everything up.
Pause it. You don't want to get too far into
I'm
it.
trying. It's
Hit
doing.
spacebar. Hit spacebar.
Oh my god, I can't. All right, let's.
That works. You know what we're gonna do?
I'm off.
I'm just gonna say this from now on. I'm gonna set up another computer that we can invite to the chat too, which will just be audio.
That actually might not be a bad idea.
And I can and I'll set it up to where you can remote into it too, so you can control it. And it'll be cool, and then everyone can hear everything.
God damn it. Hold on. I'm gonna get it back because I'm pissed off now.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, not to oversell it.
I'm not over.
In the mind space and attitude that I was in at the time, which was not terrible, but it wasn't good. I mean, I'm just being honest. It was. Yeah, I couldn't sleep because I was in a little bit of a shitty mood, like dwelling on stuff. This video, I'm surprised Natalie didn't wake up because it caught me off guard. It was amazing. And
all right, so why is my camera doing that again?
I'm gonna actually send a message to this dude from one of my accounts.
All right, this might work anyway, but shit. And here we go with the fucking. Good Lord.
Windows. You know what?
No, fuck it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Or wait, we're doing it live.
Yeah. You know, if we absolutely can't figure it out, I'll put it on.
I can figure it out. It's just.
But if we can't, I'll play it on my phone. Hold my phone up to the camera like this, and I'll just shut the fuck up. And this.
I got it. It's just now my camera's fucking up. It's for no good reason.
You look like you're cut off at the head, at the neck.
Fuck it. Okay, so let me try this again. I've taken it off, and actually it works fairly decent without me having my earbuds in. So this might work anyway. Okay, let me share the screen again and see if I can get it to work right.
Let me know so I can just mute so it doesn't I don't feedback. Because
let's see, Chrome tab.
My voice through the speaker into another mic is gonna.
Ooh, is that gonna work? I guess we'll find out.
You know, we're gonna be big boys and get a digital mixer before the next show.
I have a mixer, but the problem is it still won't solve the problem of the share screen doesn't have.
That's true. I'll set up another computer. It'll take me just a couple minutes and we'll go over it offline.
No, we won't. Well, we will after this. But
yeah, offline.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and try this one more time with the audio on. Okay. Where's the speaker at on this thing? All right. Where are the speakers? Who knows? All right. I'm going to try this. Let's see if you can hear it. Hold on.
I'm just going to say, kids, do not try this at home.
All down after I dried them into this great big bag. Well, it used to be like up to here, but I ground all of them down to pretty good powder. There's some big flakes in it, so I decided to filter some out. So I got fine little pieces of powder. This right here, probably just a little bit more than that amount. 3 weeks ago. Was put into this bottle of VG. It's a chocolatino. In the morning, I like to have my chocolate coffee with a little bit of Carolina Reaper brewed in the coffee itself. I have one of them reusable Keurigs. So that's my morning coffee every morning. So I figured, hey, I had this chocolate cappuccino flavor, why not add some Carolina Reaper to it? Like I said, 3 weeks ago I put just a little bit more than that in here, and there's like maybe this much left juice in here. Something like here down, that's just juice. Every day, maybe twice, 2-3 times a day, I'd shake it up a little bit, let it steep. So, just so you know, I'm not pulling any funny business. I've got CLE 150. I'm going to be doing it at about 80 watts. I re-wicked it, so you know I didn't put like some other funky juice in it, put a couple drops on it. This is completely dry wicking right here. So we will smash this in a little bit real quick, and I'll juice her up. And I'm going to be vaping Carolina Reaper. Like I said, do not.
Try this at home.
Absolutely do not
Ever.
try this at home. I'm a trained professional. 911 is sitting on standby. I'm several blocks away. Don't have anyone here in case I pass out. Just so you know. Just so you can see I'm legitimately juicing. Ooh, you can see, hopefully you can see the brown flakes. My macro doesn't work on my camera in camera mode. But, ooh. It was bright red when it went in, but looks like this dark chocolate has turned it kind of a brown, blackish. And ooh. Now, if any of you don't know what a Carolina Reaper is, I'm getting juice everywhere. Oh God, I don't want it on my hands. If any of you don't know what a Carolina Reaper is, Guinness Book of World Records recognizes it as the world's hottest pepper. I get my pepper seeds from PepperGo. You can go to peppergo.com. There's a good plug for you, Joe. So, there it is. It's all juiced up. And I get, oh man, I got it all over my hands. Okay. But anyway, each pepper is rated at, on average, 1.5 million Scoville units per pepper. I've got my stuff down pretty good when I'm growing. And my peppers are hot. I've had people tell me my jalapenos years before were the hottest jalapenos they've had. So. Oh.
No.
Oh God.
No.
And don't worry, there's no vomit.
As an added bonus, because I had to wait another day, as an added bonus, it's going to be a triple feature. Like I said, do not try this at home.
Don't.
Okay, I'm going to vape it first. I got 2 more surprises for you. Lord help me.
And he does it again. I don't.
It gets better.
God. Okay. Second part. It is. snuggle up here. My eyes on fire. My nose is plugged up. My lungs. I ended up puking about for 10 minutes. Once again, don't try this bullshit at home. Oh man. Whew. Don't do this. Don't do it at all. It's not good. I didn't need 911. Definitely ever don't try to vape anything hot. Whew. Especially the world's hottest fucking pepper.
So I'm just gonna say, what did he do after that? He started a channel where all he does is that.
Lyman,
I love you.
Lyman,
I love you.
I don't know if that's not going to go on the podcast part. Not because I think that may require a trigger warning, but that's not because it's a visual thing. I don't know if
It is a trigger? Like people that
no,
actually put.
I was kind of being sarcastic, kind of. But no, it's mostly because it's a visual thing, and I don't know that it would translate that well.
No, that is true, and that's fair.
Uh,
You could
that-
cut. You could. We could record a thing that just says there's an extended live version.
I'll put that on the post anyway. That's
Sure.
not gonna- So that was disturbing as fuck.
Was it disturbing to you?
No, it wasn't to me, but I know there's other people it might.
I don't.
And I'm not being sarcastic, or whatever.
No.
I'm being serious. But it's fine. No, it's just.
Would you say that? Would you say that's over the top for something to play live? I don't think so.
Not
'Cause
for
there's no-
me.
Not for me.
me. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, I don't know. There's always, we're delicate snowflakes, and so we have to,
Do we? Or
I'm being
I am too.
trigger warnings for fucking PC snowflakes.
If you fell down as a child and were scarred by having a hot pepper go into your lungs and nose and eye,
That would fuck with me. But anyway, so that was interesting. I'm glad that
I got a story about that, similar but not the same.
That's pretty fucked up.
It's super quick. Arizona's hot, super hot. I had pepper spray in the car I was driving at the time. I think I was 18 or 19. Super hot, left it in the car. I was driving and all of a sudden I hear like real quiet. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And all of a sudden my eyes are burning, my lungs and nose and everything were burning. I had to pull over. Don't leave your pepper spray in a car.
You're a fucking idiot. You deserve every bit of that.
Whether I'm an idiot or not, and I don't disagree with you, but some might. I don't know, probably not. Yeah, don't leave. I deserve it.
No,
At
in
least,
that
at least a
particular
couple
instance.
times.
Pepper ain't
Not
that
then.
isn't fuck-
Moving vehicle.
Yeah, that's not something you need to fuck with.
That's like the second or third time. I've been-
Okay, then you just definitely deserve it if
But I did not commit a crime.
okay. You committed a crime of stupidity.
Well, that's me being alive, so
Yeah.
eat it.
Okay, so fucking asshole. So along with the show reviews we covered was Mr. Robot's Man in the High Castle and Expanse. Check all of those out. Don't go vaping
Fucking anything that burns you.
ghost pepper. Or not ghost pepper. And I did do that. I remember doing that when I was in Panama. Was it Panama City? I think.
Ghost pepper.
No, I didn't vape one, but I mean, I had one. I never really had.
Did you actually eat one?
No, they have this pepper palace.
Oh,
They have those samples, sauce samples, right? And like you have to be over 18 or some shit. I'm like, it can't be that bad. So they had little crackers and you put it on there and you eat it, dude, I thought I was gonna have a stroke.
Dude,
It fucked with me the rest of that day.
keep talking. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna show you something that you need to try. Yeah, keep talking. We're good.
Okay, so in case you don't know, there's something in ghost peppers in general, and I believe it's called the ingredient that makes it hot is something called capsaicin, if I'm not mistaken. And in order to counter capsaicin's effects, dairy products help. So if you're ever in a situation where you've accidentally taken too many peppers, well, let's put it this way: have some dairy on hand because you're fucked otherwise. Nothing else is gonna cool that shit down.
No.
Don't even try water. Your water ain't gonna do nothing except get you water poison, and then you're double fucked.
One of my other guilty pleasures on the topic is the YouTube show called Hot Ones. Have you watched it?
Go on.
So the synopsis is there's a guy who asked really good interview questions. He's one of the best interviewers I've ever seen. We should take notes. He has different athletes, celebrities, like that are plugging movies, whatever they're doing. And they have 10 wings. And the first wing starts at like sriracha. And then it ends with their own hot sauce that they just put a dab on. They call it the last dab. Anyway, and he interviews them. And the interview questions are really interesting. And the answers are interesting because they're in pain past like number 6. A lot of pain. If you're DJ Khaled, you puss out after 3, meaning you can't eat like Tabasco. DJ Khaled, you're broken. Anyway, so I acquired, and they sell this, but I acquired their last dab. Every season, they put it out.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing
Dude,
this?
I'm just saying, if you like, number one, it's a good show. You should watch it for the interviews. They're very good. But this has Pepper X and chocolate Pepper X, which at the time, and I think currently, is still the hottest pepper. It is not a hot sauce. I'm very passionate about my hot sauce. I love it. Not to be edgy, but I like the flavor of it. It is really hot, but it tastes really good. So you could like put a little bit on like a taco or your eggs or something. You're good. But you should watch the show. There's actually a video of this dude that we just watched vaping this because he's an idiot.
You can die. You can die from that, actually.
I'm sure you could.
I've read up on it. You can make your throat close up.
All I know is that I have a pretty high threshold, not in any
Yes,
spectacular.
we know.
Yeah, I have a high threshold for hot stuff. Natalie has a really high threshold for hot stuff. But both of us that don't like to eat stuff just to be like, oh, we ate the hottest thing. Like, we like flavor. This actually achieves that. It has really good flavor through the whole thing, even though it's still hot. It doesn't just like blow your mouth out and you're done.
All right. Well,
Hot one.
when I see you next, whenever that is, hopefully in Phoenix.
This year, 2020. We're going to come to Nashville, I think, this year for sure.
Well, whenever I want to. There's Nashville hot chicken, but then if you got that, then that's a whole nother level. So I'll have my cream and milk prepared though. I don't know. It depends. I don't know. My tolerance
Everybody's different.
isn't that high. I mean, it's sort of, but not really.
I mean, I don't mind pain, but I don't want my like tongue to go numb to where I can't taste anything I'm eating and like.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I would never eat a scorpion pepper. Obviously, it's not going to kill me, but it doesn't taste good because even if it did, you wouldn't taste it after the first couple few seconds. Like fuck it, you don't got to be edgy. Just eat what you like. But if you like hot stuff, and you like good interviews, and you want good feedback on the hot sauces, because I have a list that I've seen on the show, because every season they switch the lineup. You should check it out. I think you would like it. It's good to go to sleep too, because you can close your eyes and listen.
Maybe because you're a freak. I don't know if everybody would.
Hey, I went to
agree.
sleep watching American History X like a few nights ago, so
Yeah, you're a psychopath.
draw your own conclusions.
Which is fine. You're a fucking psychopath.
Could be.
So there's one other thing on a positive note I wanted to bring up, and this is kind of random, but the Golden Globes this year, there's a lot of, well, Ricky Gervais is a piece of garbage.
I was about to say.
But that's not what this is about. We already knew that, and I'm not going into the whole transphobic thing with his punk ass. This is about Kate McKinnon, who is on Saturday Night Live. And I guess she's on something else, and I didn't know, because she was accepting. I don't keep up with the Golden Globes, and frankly, I'm not real happy with it since they wanted to have a cat jump on my table and knock everything over.
Yeah, seriously.
Since they had him on there anyway, but Kate McKinnon came on there. She's on Saturday Night Live. That's where I know her from, but. She gave a tearful acceptance speech because she said Ellen DeGeneres made it. She saw her come out, and it made her where she could felt comfortable for her coming out. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
Just for that, I mean, obviously Ricky Gervais can go fuck himself, but
Twice.
And despite his little bitching about people shouldn't make political statements, because apparently you're not allowed to have a political thoughts if you're a fucking celebrity. They did it anyway, so fuck him. So.
In the same sentence, he made a technically political statement.
Yeah, fuck him. I don't fucking.
Yeah. To put it in the words of my friend Tom Riley, who I've spent many a sunrise on my back patio in my youth, fuck him with the concrete dildo of hate. I will tag you in with Tom Riley.
I feel like that's kink shaming, because somewhere somebody has a concrete dildo, and they enjoy that concrete dildo, and maybe it is of hate.
No, you know what? I'm just gonna say, no kink shaming, but the description that he gave me, if that is your kink, I'm gonna say you're either not alive. Or I don't know.
Well, anyway,
you gotta work through.
So
it.
go fuck himself. Basically, is what you.
Yeah, fuck Ricky Gervais. Oh, and fucking Netflix gave Goop a fucking.
I don't know what's going on.
Fuck Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop, and Netflix. I love you.
No, Netflix has been doing that though. They've been given.
I won't cancel you. It's Goop.
No, but they've been given fucking has-been comedic dudes fucking. They gave fucking Chappelle 2 specials.
That is true, but Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop company is 100% like, align your chakras. We gotta cleanse and shove jade eggs in your hoo-ha.
Yeah, I
like,
don't know what's happening.
Whatever.
I don't know.
I know some people that are planning to crowdfund a documentary to counteract all the points in Goop.
It doesn't. It's not going to make any difference. People are going to believe what the fuck they believe.
It won't, but the thing is sometimes you got to do stuff because it makes it tolerable.
I know. It's just depressing. So many people believe that shit. People are celebrity. We live in a celebrity culture in this country, though. People believe celebrities for no damn reason.
I heard a guy who said he was a doctor say that if he gives Chris Watson $10 a month times 3,000 people, it will cure your dry cuticles.
I'm sorry, how much was it again? You know what?
Let's test it. For science, everybody that listens, go to Patreon. What's our Patreon?
Patreon.com/the postmodern polymaths.
And pledge
anything.
I mean, science says $10. but whatever you can do.
Well, then, yeah, but then
And-
you
and
have to
report-
pick a product.
Well, yeah, but that's not part of the deal. You're curing your dry cuticles.
But you have to have a product to plug in the first place. We don't have anything.
I'll make a T-shirt with our face on it. Oh wait, you already did.
I already did. Yeah, I already did.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. So if you want me to, I don't even know. You know what? We can do stunts. We can do stunts.
Yeah. Like
So,
what? What would we do?
Well, it doesn't matter. It won't happen anyway.
Put on the spot. Someone's going to out of spite. One of 6 people
You do the hot. You're all about that hot sauce shit. You need to
in
do
my
some-
mouth, not my nose or any
No,
other
not yours.
orifice.
No, okay, fine. Your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you want to see Lyman suffer, you just suffer in general. Then yeah, put some money towards that.
We should
And
set
really,
a real Patreon goal where
And
we
really, you
raise
don't even have to
money.
pledge on Patreon if you go to the PayPal on the website. It's a one-time donation, which I should start doing more anyway, but plugging more anyway. But if you go on there and say specifically, I want Lyman to do some stupid shit, you can bet your ass he's going to do it. 'Cause
That's
he's
a good
fucking-
chance.
He's a whore for money. A whore.
You say horror for money. I say humanitarian. What's the difference?
Tomato, tomato. You know.
All right.
All right, so I should be plugging the website more. I should be doing this at the end of the show, really, but it's postmodernpolymath.com. If you go to the website, all the links are there, including the link to the PayPal, which you're going to have to give to get Lyman to do some fucking crazy shit with hot sauce. So
I'll do it.
if you want to go see it on Apple or Stitcher or the various other sundry places you can find the Twitter and the Facebooks and such. So, yeah, give money to see Lyman make a fool out of himself.
You know what?
Although-
If somebody pays for both of our flights to go to AACon, I will vape hot stuff.
I would totally vape hot stuff for that. Yeah.
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 It's capitalism. It's not
Yeah.
peanut whore.
I'd have
Potato.
to have milk literally right next to me, but
To like shove in your nose.
yeah, basically, I'd have to snort milk.
Whatever, I'll do it.
All right. Well, on that wonderful. And I'm going, speaking of AACon, I'm going to do everything in my power to get, the only thing that, if I can get tickets again like I did last year, the hotel's the thing, unless we're going to all crash at Lyman's place in Phoenix.
That is not an open invite, by the way.
No, not everybody, literally, but
No. Select people that get to know an address where they theoretically could
well,
find
yes. Well, theoretically, if I didn't have to pay fucking what is it, $113 a night or something, I theoretically could reimburse this person theoretically with whatever they choose or whatever. That's all I'm saying. We can theoretically talk about later.
That sounds factual.
Anyway, it's probably a good chance. Flight's not really a problem. The only thing I worry about is the ticket. Since I probably got... I have to sleep with scorpions probably. But, you know.
I'm just going to say, when you make it out there, bring a pair of slippers.
All right.
It's
slippers.
not super common, but like flip-flops, better than nothing, but like slippers. I live in
I
slippers.
don't walk barefoot anyway. So.
Fuck no. That's...
All right, so if you want to give me less money towards the flight tickets, I might have to inquire about. It's possible, but hopefully we'll be out there. He almost certain. Well, you might be anyway. So.
It's possible. It's probable, depending on Natalie's work situation.
Yeah, we'll see. But keep that in mind. They still haven't started selling tickets yet. They've got the place and the time, but they don't have the tickets and
They don't have the manner.
the people who are speaking. They just think you're lucky stars. It's not David the Jackoff Silverman. So
If they book that motherfucker, we're not going.
they wouldn't.
We're not paying, at least that. I know Phoenix way too well. We'll get in.
Okay, well, that's a good
Don't.
one.
No.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching some dude vape some fucking peppers. And
Who doesn't?
yeah, and who doesn't?
It's better than watching a body count on TV.
That's true. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Go ahead and sign off, I reckon. But thanks again, Lyman, for coming on and sharing your wisdom and your psychopathy.
I'm a treasure trove of knowledge.
You're a treasure trove of something for sure.
I'm a treasure.
Yeah, you're a treasure.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, you know what to say. Until next time, y'all take it easy now.